by a silver-haired old lady with a honk if you love Jesus sticker on the bumper of her car.
Hey, welcome back to Pagitt Radio. We have a little segment that we end our first hour with called Cripes. Come on. You've got to be kidding me. It's our public lament. It's our crying out to the world, to one another, that there are things in this world that are not the way they're supposed to be. There's some things in this world that are broken. There's some things in this world that do not ring true.
Nope.
There are some imposters. There are some enemies of goodness and human anticipation. And we're not going to live with them.
No.
We're going to do something about them. We are going to join our voices together.
Yep.
And we are going to say, we're not standing for it any longer. No longer are we going to put up with this kind of world that does not function the way we want it to without talking back.
That's right. We're mad as heck, and we're not going to take it anymore.
And then there's some things in this world that are the way they're supposed to be. And we end the second hour telling one another that we have choices to make.
We land the plane. We do.
We say, hey, you can live as someone who simply complains. You can live as someone who simply points out the fault. You can live as someone who just tells about the problems. Or you can be people who make the future. You can be people who make the world that you want.
That's
You have
right.
choices to make in this world.
We do.
And sometimes we need to say it out loud,
Yes.
so that we can be motivated to live it out loud. I should be kicked off the radio for ever using the phrase "live it out loud."
Live it out loud. It's a win-win, Doug.
It's a win-win.
Check it out.
Check it out online. Check out our win-win online as we live it out loud. I mean, those kinds of phrases. I really think I should give myself a Cripes. Come on, you got to be kidding me. For using
It's
the
only
phrase,
because you're in it to win it, Doug.
live it out loud. All right, so we have a Cripes.
That's what you
this
get for
week.
thinking outside of the box.
and the Cripes this week goes out to the fact that I got home last night from being in New York out of state, and I got in and I always make I first greet the people who live in my house. I say hello. I try to acknowledge their life and their presence.
I'm sure you're treated like a returning hero.
Contributions to my life. I greet them. And then
You see the collective eye roll of your family as you walk in the door. He's back.
Oh boy, here we go again. She's already?
Yeah.
They got that look on their face. They got the look that happens when you get to the bottom of the popcorn. And then I try to naturally but casually make my way out to see if there's any mail. Because for some reason, as a person born in the latter half of the 20th century, the fact of getting things in the mail,
An information age person, that's what they do.
still inspires when something comes in the mailbox.
People are sending me things.
Yeah, and you and so I go out to check the mail, and I walk out to the office area out in front of our front door where we collect mail, and there's a giant box sitting there. A large box. And normally when things come in large boxes, delivered to my house, it's probably something that I ordered. But I picked up the box and I looked at it, and it came from this store that I've ordered things from before, and I thought to myself and said out loud, did I order something? No recollection whatsoever of having ordered something. Open the box, and there's a pair of shoes in there. There's a pair of what I refer to as the Walter Whites. There's a pair of these hush puppy, like
sand-colored canvas or
suede sand boots. Is that what they're called? Is that the style? Very popular in the 70s. I remember these from the 70s, which is why I noticed them on
the Sand People from Star Wars.
When Walter White wears them on what's that show we like?
Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad. But the Cripes stood out to me for the fact that I obviously ordered them and it completely
Well, because
forgot.
they fit you. They're obviously your shoes.
Yes, like they were addressed to me in my size, something that I would like with a payment invoice on the inside with my credit card information on it. I ordered them and had completely forgotten that I had ordered them.
Are you shopping on Ambien again? Is that what you're...
And there I am having a first world problem.
That's right.
To which a serious Cripes has to be delivered. How does a guy order himself a pair of shoes and then completely forget about it?
Yeah, you obviously needed them really badly.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if I didn't get... I've been walking around shoeless. I'm like Joe Jackson walking around. And I had to have a pair of shoes, apparently.
Yeah.
And then I got them, and I'm like, dang, I surprised myself with a pair. It's ridiculous.
What?
Who orders something and then forgets they ordered them and then acts surprised and confused when they show up? And it wasn't even false humility. It wasn't like I was trying to put that on for Shelley so that she wouldn't give me the
business.
The business about having ordered a pair of shoes. But I have large feet, and so I realized that I have a shoe fetish.
You do have a shoe
I know
fetish.
Marcos, but I've got a bit of a shoe thing because I wear size 16s, which means that I can't. So if I find shoes that I like, I have this sensibility that I have to buy, that I have to get them. So I think that's probably what happened. I think I had returned something from a Christmas purchase or something. Somehow I'm now slightly coming back to me that I was on this website.
You know, the material it takes to make one of your shoes, you can make like 3 or 4 pairs of normal size shoes.
It's these kinds of sizes comments that I just desire to leave ourselves. Someday, freedom will ring. Someday, the dream that we will celebrate tomorrow will come true for all of us. And not only will racism, not only will classism, but this embedded sizeism. I mean, you want to talk about something somebody's born with. The size of your feet, you can't control. The fact that I have to shop at other stores, and I'm made fun of by people like you, and I'm accused for using up my unfair share of resources. It's only with a sturdy soul that I can take these kinds of topics.
You are such a hypocrite. You make fun of my being hard of hearing all the time.
I do.
I have a disease process at work in my body, and you mock me for it.
I do not make fun of your hard of hearing. I make fun of the fact that you're hard of hearing and you work on a radio program.
Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful?
We're free at last.
Thank God it's America.
All right. So the come on simply goes out to Tim Tebow. Thank you. We're done. Are we done with that guy? If you don't care about what I'm talking about with Tim Tebow, good for you. Praise be the Lord of Tim Tebow, who he will tell you about on a regular basis. But that guy is a quarterback.
Yeah.
And I'm done hearing about him.
Okay.
And I've been reading books about him. And I'm done with the Tebow effect and all the rest of that.
Next.
Come on. You got to be kidding me. It goes up to my own rookie running mistake. I started running, I'm training for a half marathon.
Yeah, you ran in New York, right?
And I had every week you have to do a long run, as they call it in the training world. And the long run started with 5 miles. I did that, and then 6 miles, did that, and then this week was 7 miles. So this last Friday I had to run 7 miles, and I wanted to run it in Central Park.
Have you ever run 7 miles before?
I have never run 7 miles in my life. I don't know if cumulatively until I started running I had run 7 miles. I had never run 7 miles from start to finish. But I wanted to do it in Central Park because I thought that's idyllic. I mean, the celebrities would come running by.
Oh, right.
You know, it's all. And I had never been to Central Park in my life, so I'm in New York. So I started at 110 up in Harlem. I come into the park, and I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just going to run around, and I'm going to keep running till 7 miles. I take a right when I enter the park on the north side,
and you run into Hugh Jackman.
And the first mile is a hill.
Oh yes,
for an entire mile. It's a mile-long hill. So I run it.
Oh Lord!
And I'm like, I'm going to do this. And I'm not going to quit. And every 15 seconds, when running by oneself, you're saying to yourself, you should quit because you're never going to make it. And, you know, your dad was right. So I'm running. so I'm running up this hill. I run the 6 miles. Where does 6.1 mile end? Right where I started. So what is the 7th mile? That hill. And like someone suffering from Tourette's, I have to run the entire 7th mile uphill. It was killing me.
Thank you. Good night.
So there I did it. I finished it, but I was saying, you got to be kidding me, mumbling to myself like a crazy person all the way.
I should have made a left.
Some things in this world are not right.
Nope.
Stick around. We're going to tell you about things that are after the break on Pagitt Radio.